Wild Zone 10 is a very scary wild zone because it has Pokemon that try to kill you in the water like a bunch of Carvanha and a giant Alpha Sharpedo. But the best part about this zone is that we can actually hunt down the Sharpedo so that we can Mega Evolve it, as well as finding Pokemon like Tynamo, which eventually will evolve into a Electros, which has a brand new Mega Evolution in the game, which are going to be our main two targets here. So I'll be showing you all the tips, tricks, and methods to 100% shiny hunt every Pokemon in Wild Zone 10. So if you enjoy content like this, make sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you really do enjoy this content, consider becoming a member by hitting that join button. Now, let's get you all your shiny Pokemon for Wild Zone number 10. Wild Zone 10 is unlocked during Main Mission 20. The Pokemon we'll be hunting in this zone are Slowpoke, Arbok, Watchog, Bellsprout, Staryu, Tynamo, and Carvanha. The fixed Alpha Pokemon are going to be Alpha Sharpedo, Alpha Arbok, and Alpha Watchog. Now remember, in order to get 5% chance of random Pokemon in the zone becoming alphas, you need to complete Mabel's research request for catching all the Pokemon within this area. For full Shiny Dex completionists, you'll need 3 Slowpoke. 1 to evolve into Slowbro at level 37 that has a Mega, and 1 to evolve into Slowking when traded while holding a King's Rock. You'll need 1 Arbok, you'll need 1 Watchog, 3 Bellsprout, 1 to evolve into Weeping Bell, and another 1 to evolve into Victory Bell using the Leaf Stone. And this also has a very cute Mega. 2 Staryu, 1 to evolve into Starmie, we're using a Water Stone, and this also has one of the coolest Megas because it runs around like a Naruto character. You'll need 3 Tynamo, 1 to evolve into Electric at level 39, and 1 to evolve into Electros using the Thunderstone, and it does have this really cool Mega Evolution. And you'll need 2 Carvanha, 1 to keep us at Stupid Fish, and 1 to evolve into Sharpedo, which also has a crazy Mega Evolution. The base shiny odds are going to be 1 out of 4,096, and the shiny odds with the shiny charm are going to be 1 out of 1,024.38. The methods being used for this video are going to be the fast travel method, the run and reset method, the run and despawn method, and the bench method. All right, welcome to Wild Zone number 10. We are here and we're fast traveling right to the zone right now because we are going to do the fast travel method as the first one in the game. Now, the fast travel method, as we talk about in our previous videos, is going to take care of Pokemon within the first 50 meters of where you exactly are. So what would be showing up here would be your Slowpokes, if you care about that. And the big question is, do these Carvanhas fall into the equation? And the answer is yeah, about 2 of them should fall into the equation. So if you want to go ahead and just constantly keep fast travel resetting at Wild Zone number 10, well, you can do that until you get a specific one of these shinies. However, I feel like this is limiting the amount of shinies you can get in the entire zone, as there are a ton of more Pokemon, but that is a habit that you can do. So essentially, the strategy is go 10 times, do a fast travel over and over again until you get your exact Pokemon that you need to be shiny, which is only these 2 Pokemon in the front. There is a Bellsprout, however, in the front, so we did that. That's pretty much your fast travel. See if you got a shiny. Did we get a shiny? The answer is no, but we did get an Alpha Carvanha. There also is a little Bellsprout that does show up here. There it is. Let's see, is that actually 50 meters? No, it's not. So the Bellsprout will not be 50 meters, but that's pretty much exactly how you're going to do the fast travel method. Now let's jump into the next one, which I like to call the run and reset method. Now, run and reset method is simple. It's compensating for the fact that you're not able to get all 50 meters of the fast travel method. So for this method, what you want to do is first fast travel there and then just walk in the zone. And what you're going to do is you're going to just gun through the zone, getting every single spawn. So we walk past the Slowpokes, we see the 3 spawns of the Carvanha here. We're going to come around, see more Carvanha here. We're going to see the Sharpedo, and another interesting spawn that happens further down in the tunnel is going to be 2 Tynamo here. We got a male and a female. There's always 2 spawns over here. So by doing that and running straight through, you can see the entire zone. The only issue with the run and reset method is usually we get away by having that red eye marker disappear, and because Pokemon will normally chase you in the zone, it's a little dangerous because Sharpedo runs after you, so it's hard to get away. But the moment those eyes disappear is when you're going to do a reset. I find it pretty slow to do the run and reset method, but at the end of the day, it's totally a preference of hunting that most people are going to want to choose to do or not. It just sucks that the moment you walk in here, these guys are all going to come after you, and then these all see you over here. And the only way to really do that is by probably escaping to the roof or getting into a quick safe spot where the Pokemon don't see you for that split second. There's a red eye. And can we get away? Can we get away? There, right there. We had that moment, the eye dropped, and we just reset again. So So those are all the Pokemon you can pretty much see with the run and reset method. There are Pokemon on the roof that we're going to go over, but it's not going to be as efficient for your run and reset method. Let's talk about two specific methods to do in order to reset these Tynamos, as this is one of the major Pokemon you're being going for in this area. So we have a 31 female and we have a 32 male. The first one is the run and despawn method, and I'm going to mark my location with the pin just like this, and I'm going to walk out of here. This is the opposite side, by the way, on the floor with the other exit. And I'm just going to pay attention to exactly where that pin is and get away by 70 meters. So I'm walking up these steps. I think right about here should be my 70 meters. And I'm just going to walk down here and see if our spawns have changed, right? That's one way of doing it. This is just a, run and despawn. Yeah, clearly they have. We have an alpha Tynamo now. That's level 43. And what do we got here? A level 31 female. Okay. So clearly our spawns have changed. Now, a method that you could do here as well, we'd call this the respawn and reset method. So respawn and reset pretty much is going to kill off both of these Tynamos like this, slightly off. And what you're going to do is exactly wait for their respawn timer. So when they both show up at the exact same time. You want to do a way better job than me, by the way, and kill them. So what you want to do is exactly wait for the respawn time for these Tynamo to show up. I think it might be a minute, but we'll see exactly how long it takes. As I killed them around 50 seconds in my recording for this section. So let's find out. Let's see right here. Something should spawn maybe in 5 seconds. There it is. So it's a minute. Okay, so it's a 1 minute respawn time. So basically you save right before the minute. Look at that. We got both spawned in within the minute. So pretty much once they both respawn, this is called respawn and reset for a reason, right? They respawn. We're then going to close our game, open up our game again, and we're going to get completely two different new respawns that show up. And we're going to pop in and wait for the spawns. Ready? Here we go. There it is. Boom and boom. 31, and none of them has sparkled. 31 male, 31 male, and you just reset over and over again. Now, I want to point out something because there is a method spreading on a line about, using the day and night cycle to auto bench reset wherever you go. Do not use this day and night reset method if the spawn of the Pokemon is exactly the same. You just need to do this. This is way faster. You just reload the game in. You're done. You don't have to worry about day and night spawns. It's just right there. Boom. Here we go. 31 female, 31 female. And as you can see, I think it might be better than even running and despawning. So try to do this method and you'll probably get yourself a shiny Tynamo. Quick update for everyone watching the video. I didn't realize that I didn't look this way when I was doing those resets for the Tynamo. And yeah, there's another alpha Sharpedo right there. This is my Sharpedo. That's a real one in front of me. Hello? There's no way it's gonna break out. Now let's talk about benches, because this wild zone actually has 3 benches that you can use for the AFK bench sitting method. Now, before we move on to the bench method, I do want to say that every single one of these methods I'm talking about is currently being macroed right now on our 8-bit do, using our 8-bit do automation controller, because you can macro movements and you can repeat things over and over again. I want to point out we have a full Discord working on every single macro for this controller, which you can check out down in the description below. We are working on a giant Google Doc for all this stuff so everyone can see it, and it'll eventually be linked down in the comments. But hop on into the Discord, grab the macros, and the controller is in the description below, because we'll talk about this during the bench method. All right, let's keep going. All right, now let's talk about the bench reset method. Now, the bench reset method is going to have 3 benches in here. Let's take you to them. So let's walk past a Slowpoke here. Walk past these scary looking Carvanhas. They are terrifying. And we're going to go up here to this bench over here. Now, when you're deciding on what bench you want to go to, you want to think what bench covers the most areas in the zone, right? So if I place a bench here, I got to think what's 50 meters from this bench. Or if I go down to this bench over here, I have to plan what's 50 meters from this bench. So it's really a preference that you want to do. Personally, I like this bench because it's the furthest in, and I know that below me are going to be Pokemon that I want. So every Pokemon I showed you down below are going to be able to be shiny hunted. So this includes Pokemon like our lovely Tynamo, as well as that Sharpedo right over there. We also can shiny hunt Carvanha, and as you can see, sometimes there's a Staryu that shows up in the day as well. So Staryu is going to be able to be hunted. You're going to be able to get a Slowpoke up here using this bench reset method, and also that Alpha Sharpedo that was after me. I got my own in shiny, so we don't have to worry about that. So, bench reset method. What you want to do is face this bench, right? Make sure you turn your controller just like this, and your character is facing the bench. And as I tell everyone, you're simply going to sit, it's going to turn nighttime, but the best way to do this, if you have a regular Pro Controller or a Joy-Con, is take your rubber band, place it just like this, hold this down, and then just smash the A button and do some stuff on the side, and maybe check back after an hour, half an hour, depending on how long you can press it. If you have the 8-bit Do controller, you can simply just set up the macro, hit that button to initiate the macro, and your character will just go automatically. This is for the crazy shiny hunters who want to automate and wake up to shinies, but sometimes it's fun to do active hunting where you're pressing the button, because it feels a lot more satisfying sometimes. But at the end of the day, everyone gets their own shiny. So that specifically is the bench reset method. Now, I want to point out to you right here that we can also show you exactly what it does. So there is our marker for 1825, and we can see that, oh my gosh, all these Pokemon down here are within range. I'm pretty sure they ran from above to come down here. And then the Pokemon under here, which is our lovely Tynamos, are also going to be right below that bench. Within the 50 meters. So you're going to be completely fine to reset there, because I noticed for a fact that when you sit at a bench, Pokemon that are below the bench always tend to seem to be shiny. It happens in all of our videos. Every zone I've been to so far does that. And if for some reason you can disprove that, feel free to drop that in the comments. The only thing I will never say for 100% fact is that if you sit on a bench, Pokemon up there are going to be shiny. I always notice it's from top to down, not always from bottom to up, unless there's a certain elevation peak. So anyway, let's talk about the next bench, which is going to be up here, and you're going to get a little overview of the top area of the zone. So once you come up to this area, we're climbing up the ladder, and we're going to enter the rooftops of Wild Zone number 10. And as you can see over here, we have our Watchog. This is a static alpha Watchog, just kind of like that Sharpedo down there. And we have a little bench here, believe it or not. There is a bench. So what you can do at this bench, so let's drop down a marker so you guys can see, is we place a marker here, and you can see this bench is actually going to be responsible for resetting this alpha spawn right over here, the fixed alpha Watchog, as well as these other Watchogs. And as we mentioned before earlier in the video, you can have a random chance of having these be alpha as well. So you don't have to worry about those. As long as you've done Mabel's research, you have a 5% chance of those spawning in as alpha as well. So pretty much that's going to cover your roof. Now, don't forget, just because something is above, I said it also would work below. So you see that marker right there. We're going to drop down, and we're going to see, even from that bench, we can probably still shiny hunt Pokemon, which is actually possible. So we're down here. We're going to go around all the way like this, and you can see that Pokemon here are going to still fall under. So some Carvanhas, the Sharpedo, they're going to fall under that 50-meter range, and we're going to go right under the bridge just to prove it that we can also shiny hunt down here. And as you can see, that is 30 meters away. So, in summary, what bench would you prefer to go to? Probably the one right at the top there if you want to shiny hunt this entire section, as that is an underrated bench, and people usually just run to the bench they see right away over here. So try that out, and if you feel like for some reason you're not getting lucky with that bench, you can always switch benches. That is a thing you can do. Now, let's continue on. So you know bench number 1, you know lucky bench number 2, which is facing out this way, and also, don't forget, if there's bonus Pokemon across, like look at that guy over there, that's possible to also become shiny. So always look out for what bonus Pokemon are around the area when you are doing these shiny hunting resets, because you'll be surprised. You'll be like, whoa, I didn't know I have a shiny out there, and it was all because you did a bench reset. Now, I do want to point out another cool bench Pokemon that is possible. It's going to be on this building over here. Sometimes you'll get, there we go, you'll get an Absol that spawns across. Continuing on, we have a big roof full of Watchogs. Now, as we're going across this roof, we're also going to find a static alpha Arbok, which is going to be done by doing the run and despawn method, specifically for the alpha Arbok. However, I told you a lot of Pokemon have the chance of being alphas, especially on that roof over there. And to see that in action, we're going to go up to this spot over here, just like this. And you're going to see that there are Arboks that spawn across here. So we got 1, 2 over there, and we also have one that spawns directly across. Now, what you want to do when you see these Arboks, and I say this is the best way to go about it, is place a fast travel point right, or place a pin marker right as close as you can, so you never mistake the render distance. So let's say this is 30 meters, right there. We're going to back up to go to the despawn range, which is about 70 meters. So if you want to go ahead and shiny hunt, nighttime, we're going to go back here because they despawn out, but you want to spawn these 2 Arboks in, and you're going to back up just like this to the despawn range, right? So we're going to go all the way back to about 70 meters to be completely safe, so we know we've despawned both of them out. just like that. And as you can see also across, we have another Arbok that spawned in. So while we're doing this, we're spawning in a couple of Arboks here, and then we come back to our Alpha Arbok. So it's a lot of cool stuff happening here. Okay, so we make our despawn, and then we're gonna run all the way back, spawn these ones back in over here. So drop down, hug the edge, boom. And we have our Arbok spawning just like that. So pretty much that is going to be the run and despawn method when it comes to those Arboks. You're going to have the most luck with these. With anything else on the roof, right, you just want to place them at a 70-meter distance and figure out your exact running pattern to them. But specifically, I like those because I like taking chances at 2. But while we're also talking about the Arboks, there is also another bench reset in the same exact area where we were spawning these Arboks on the roof over here. Now, this bench is going to be bench number 3, and what you want to do is simply just, you can drop a little pin here. So, right here, hey, the Shutterbug Cafe is killing me. It's so close to me. Come on. Let's see. I mean, that's pretty close. Okay, so we have like a little spot here. All right, so this bench, let's go ahead and calculate. As you can see, we could spawn in all those Watchogs over there. But check this out. Guess what you could spawn? Probably about right here. Oh, look at that. The Alpha Arbok that's static. So the bench reset method is probably going to be the best way to go for this specific Alpha Arbok on the roof. Right? It might not reach across because across is pretty far, but however, this marker can actually reach below us. So let's just drop that marker right about there again. Sloppy marker because it goes to this cafe. But this marker can also be applied to down below, which means now we're resetting this Bellsprout. We're resetting these 3 Carvanha at the entrance, and we're also going to reset, check this out, boom, the 2 Slowpokes you see at the beginning of the zone, making that bench pretty overpowered to almost get all the Pokemon in the zone. We're talking about every single Pokemon besides the Tynamo. That's literally it. So that one, very powerful. I suggest doing bench number 3. And by doing all these methods, you'll slowly start to see yourself getting shiny Pokemon left and right and easily being able to clear out.